How's it going, guys? I'm Connor from Running Warehouse, and today I'm here with Thomas from Believe in the Run, and we finally have it. This is the Skechers Speed Elite. Everyone has been waiting for it. People have been DMing me, asking me what shoes are on my feet. I've had several prototypes. Thomas, I think, even had a prototype before me. What were your thoughts on this shoe, Thomas?
I mean, it's a really interesting shoe, and it's a lot of fun to run in. This is a shoe for fast people, so maybe it's better that Connor has them on his feet now. But my initial impression of it was there were some things that need to be worked on, and holding this shoe now in like a final production piece, I can see that Kurt and the team down at Skechers has really done a nice job of addressing some of the problems that were in the earlier prototype, and we've got a shoe that's ready for market.
Well, Kurt listened to the people, and what we have here is the final production version. What everyone I think is talking about right now is the plated action in shoes, and the Speed Elite, of course, has a plate. It's a little different. We have an in-depth video with Kurt, but in general, it's gonna be a two-piece system, very unique. It's a little lighter than the other plates because it's not a traditional full plate design. When you got this shoe on your foot, did you notice anything in the ride and that kind of that plate helps create?
Yeah, I mean, you still get that bounce off your toes. I haven't run in this version of the plate. I ran in an earlier version that was all carbon. Now they're moving it to a compound that's a little bit different. I'm not exactly sure 100% what it all is. I know there's P-backs in there. You're saying there's a little bit of carbon in there, but the feel of the shoe rolls right off that toe. You get that pop that you're expecting from a carbon plate. And one of the things I noticed just in my hand, just holding this new version, the midsole feels a little softer in the back here, which is great because I felt like the earlier prototype ran really firm.
Yeah, and now this is an Elite racer. It's got the carbon fiber plate, and I think people are gonna use it for 5K, 10K, but it's got enough versatility to go up to the marathon. And you're gonna do that with that high level of hyperburst cushioning. You are pretty familiar with hyperburst. You've ran in pretty much all of them. How do you think that hyperburst is going to have an impact on an elite racer like the Speed Elite?
I think you get two benefits out of it right off the bat. First, it's got a really nice step through feel, so it's gonna be easier on your legs, easier on your knees, easier on everything. Everybody talks about after they're done with a race with these higher stack shoes that their legs feel better. And so with that, you're gonna have a comfortable ride for those longer miles, but also the lightweight feel, gonna go quickly through your step. And you know what, I'm gonna add a third thing. I'm gonna say you've run in hyperburst, it doesn't really degrade. That bounce stays with the shoe, so unlike some shoes where they die out after a certain amount of mileage, I think you're gonna get a lot of miles out of this shoe. And for a racer that has a plate and the price goes up a little bit, the ability to have a shoe that's a little more durable as far as feel goes a long way.
Yeah, you talk about durability, and I've put quite a lot of miles on this shoe, and it's held up very well. I've been using it for workouts. I've used it for a couple races. Overall, I think you nailed it when you said it helps your legs just feel fresh afterwards. Go out and do a 5 mile, and you know normally you just feel trash the next day. And I actually have felt ready to go, ready for the next one. So I think that's one of the huge benefits of a shoe like the Speed Elite. We also have it like an extremely efficient ride. When you see other shoes in this category, I think that's the big story. And the Speed Elite, while it is a slightly different ride than something like a Vaporfly or some of the new carbon fiber plate shoes, it has its own feel. It's a little lower to the ground. Personally, I liked it a little bit more in faster efforts compared to something with a higher stack height.
And I do think that's a mistake a lot of us are making. We're trying to compare it to a shoe that already exists. And I don't think that's exactly what Skechers is trying to do, is just make a Vaporfly version of a speed shoe. I think this is a unique shoe for a different type of race, different type of runner, somebody who wants something a little bit different. Like when you say you're doing workouts, what type of workouts are you doing in this shoe?
And that's the crazy thing about this shoe. It's got so much cushioning, that responsive ride, that I've used it for pretty much anything. We talk about mile repeats, tempo days. I've even used this to warm up, do my workout, and then cool down. It's pretty much can do it all.
Even on the track?
Even on the track. I've got out on the track, the lockdown is great. You feel nice and locked in. It reminds me a lot of a shoe everyone likes, the Razor, but it's just a little bit faster, a little bit more oriented for pure speed.
Yeah, I think Razor is one of my favorites, so hearing that makes me happy. The original version that I tried didn't have the cushioning, but it feels like in this midsole they've addressed that, and I think it's going to be quite exciting to run in. One thing I'm curious about is how you feel about the upper. Like with an upper like this, it doesn't have a lot of give and stretch. It's breathable, it's probably pretty durable, but like if you have a wider foot or something like that, are you gonna get the fit you want out of this shoe?
Yeah, it was built for elite runners, so it is gonna be a little bit snugger. If you have a very wide foot, you might have some problems getting into it. There's not a lot of give in the upper, but at the end of the day, again, this is built for elite athletes, so it's going to be snug, locked in fit, ready to go on race day.
Yeah, and that's the thing with speed shoes. I don't think every runner knows that it's supposed to fit like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, you get in that seat and you're locked in. You're not going anywhere, and that's the feel you want in the foot. You don't want a lot of play in a speed shoe. So any issues with the, you know, it's a pretty simple tongue. It's basically flat, just sheet. Did you have any problems with any hot spots or any areas of the shoe that you felt weren't comfortable?
No, you know, when you get this on, the tongue is very thin. It helps. This shoe was stripped down to be the essentials and nothing more. So that thin tongue is gonna help create that lightweight design. Overall, earlier versions, there might have been some little hot spots, but that's the thing about the Speed Elite. It's taken a little bit of time to get to market because they wanted this to be perfect. They wanted that upper to fit your foot perfectly. They wanted that carbon fiber plate to be responsive and durable. They wanted everything about this shoe to be perfect so the customers have an amazing experience on race day.
Yeah, I have to say also in looks wise, this S stands for sexy now.
Just cut it there,
I mean, sexy pace shoe right here. Connor, are you gonna wear this for any races coming up? Or is this a shoe that you are gonna put in that place for your fast days?
You know, I would consider it on a race day, half marathon. I think it, for me, is gonna be the sweet spot. In the marathon, I think it's gonna be a great shoe, but I'm pretty into highly cushioned shoes, so I might go with something with a little more stack height. But for people looking for that fast, slightly lower to the ground, but still plenty of cushioning, I think it's gonna be a great marathon trainer. Personally, I'll probably use it for that half, maybe in like a 10-mile, 10K type situation. But for the majority of my use, I'm gonna probably bring it out on workout day. It's just, can do it all.
Would you recommend this shoe for every type of runner, or do you think it's really for somebody who's really into the fine-tuned performance, fast, lighter runner?
I think it's gonna be best suited for the runner you just described, that person looking for every single advantage, a little bit more competitive an athlete. But Skechers has done a great job at making a shoe that pretty much anyone can wear. So while I think it would lean more towards that athlete, I think it is gonna suit a variety of runners.
Yeah, I mean, a shoe like this for me, I feel like the efficiency kind of evens the playing field. So you may not be running a sub 3-hour marathon, or in your case, a 1:10 half, sub 1:10 half. Are we going for 1:10 or lower?
That's the goal,
Okay.
and hopefully the Speed Elite will get me there.
Right, see, and that's a dream for me, but I can still use a shoe like this because it's efficient through the stride, there's enough cushioning, and there's a bounce off the plate that's gonna help me get to the finish line faster. So even though I'm not like a sub-elite like Connor, I can get a benefit. I do think there is gonna be a drop off, like if you're starting to go 4-hour marathon, this may not have enough cushioning for you. You may not get the benefits of the geometry for the efficiency. So you might want to stick to something like the Razor, which is still light and fast, but you don't need to worry about the plate.
Perfect. So I think overall the Speed Elite, we've waited a long time, but it's finally here. It's perfect. It's ready for you to try on in your own race. If you're looking to get a pair for yourself, they're available at runningwarehouse.com.